Well, back here from Aruba, where a thriller in Group D has come to a close. What a fun affair this was between Belize and Curacal. Belize entering knowing effectively they need a win to preserve their hopes of finishing atop the group. Curaçao looking to set the pace in the group with Jamaica competing later tonight. And Curaçao opened affairs with a clear statement of intent, dominating things in the opening stages. It looked like they would potentially cruise to victory in this matchup, but they could not find the final touch nearly often enough. This chance, which Stefan Harris closed down, and then you just saw a number of forays into the final third go drastically awry for La Familia Azul. It's what prevented them from building a cushion. They did find a breakthrough eventually, shortly after we saw Gianno Royer grow into the match. He knocked this across the face, and unfortunately, Reyna's not there to tap it in. But then finally, the elusive breakthrough came just 2 minutes from the 30th. You saw Royer get through on goal and finish past the oncoming Stefan Harris, and it looked like maybe that would open the floodgates for Curaçao and allow them to cruise. Well, Belize actually responded quite promisingly. The likes of Davion Serrano and others creating decent half chances and at least keeping Curaçao honest throughout the bulk of that first half. But again, Curaçao still continued to boss the run of play, and ultimately it was a frustration affair. Just couldn't quite find the decisive second as Belize popped up with half chances now and again, but that was really it. Then in the second half, we saw Belize create chances. Jordan Glenn, the best chance of the match 30 seconds after the restart, just saved, and then Curaçao starting to create. This another great chance that was deflected wide. Royer again on the receiving end of a lot of the action, as was Kuiman. And you see Kuiman here just negotiating through traffic. This was the golden opportunity to make it 2-0. Royer, the entire goal at his mercy, but plays it too much to the center and buys Harris time to recover. And from there, Curaçao could never replicate that degree of chance quality. Ran at this back line on a number of occasions, but never able to truly trouble Harris. And that is what opened the door for Belize to ultimately get back in the match. In the final 10 minutes, continuing to create havoc. You see the striker in the form of Jordan Glenn growing into it, and then Dion Megan going bar down. There were questions over whether it crossed the line. They were answered affirmatively, and in the 63rd minute, we were level. Then appeals for handball were given. It set up Clive Medwood Jr. from the spot, who went upper 90 to power Belize to a 2-1 victory at the death. Time to look back at the 70 minutes that just transpired in the nightcap of League B in the Concacaf Boys Under 15 Championship. It was the host nation Aruba taking on Jamaica in a clash that could alter the complexion of Group D come evening's end. And well, it really didn't. Jamaica dominant with a 4-0 triumph to move atop the table with 6 points and the best goal difference by a country mile. Aruba did enjoy a fast start, contrary to what the 4-0 scoreline suggests. This half chance, if this goes differently, you wonder if the result goes a different way. But then Jamaica started to take the match over around the midway point of the first half. Tevin Savage and Davion Clark causing tons of mischief in the final third. Just a bevy of chances that Jamaica could not convert before they finally found their opener in the late stages of the first half. You see Samuel Taylor draw the defenders. He creates a decent-looking chance here for Davion Clark, and then moments later, the opener would come. It was won back by Taylor. Kenrick Brown was waiting on the far side, and what a cross he played in for Carlando Morris. All Morris had to do was tap it in, get a boot to it, and that he did. Jamaica led 1-0 in the 25th minute, but could not compound that in the tail end of the opening 35. They knocked it about so nicely. This was such a slick move, and Davion Clark just unable to put the finishing touches on it. And they continued to create havoc. Aruba could not play out, so much physical pressure. And then the second half commenced, and this is where Jamaica really began to take the match over. It was 1-0 at halftime. It did not finish 1-0. Things unraveled rather quickly around the hour mark. You saw Carlando Morris add his second after missing this header around the 45-minute threshold. Morris would eventually convert with his second of the evening after this chance was also missed by Tevin Savage. But they continued to apply pressure, and finally Morris got through on goal after it was won back upfield by Henry. Another routine tap-in in the 56th, and this is where the floodgates began to open. 3 minutes later, the substitute in Kendrick Brown, Kelvin Brown, excuse me, got through on goal, drove this low at the near post, and made it 3-0. And that effectively wrapped up the points just shy of the hour mark. Aruba did have some decent half chances. This was the best of them. It was Nelise testing Kelvin Brown from afar, Jaheim Gray from afar. And then Hussey riding the challenge in the dying embers and finishing to polish off the points with Jamaica's 4th and final